that manner, thank you so much. What is your thought in that process? If there are two people on a bike and there are maybe 3 or 4 in a car or a bike who are passing by and are teasing you, and you are alone standing at a place, versus you are with someone, even if it means it's a teenager, and somebody passes by, do you think you have more courage to speak back at them or say something to them, or would you have more courage if you are alone?
More courage with someone.
We have more courage when you are with someone, irrespective of whether that someone is really capable of fighting your battles with you or not. You just feel a little more confident. You just feel a little more safer when you are in a belongingness, when you have someone with you. It's like, don't worry, you are there, I'm going to fight my battle. It's for moral support. We need people for moral support. We need people to support us in our daily things. Daily activities also, we need a sense of belonging. I may not have a sense of belonging directly. I might be a person who lives alone. However, I need the baker, I need the farmer, I need the vegetable vendor. I need all these people for my survival. People who say I can live alone, please tell me, will you really be able to live alone if you didn't have this support system? Would you be able to farm for yourself? Would you be able to make clothes out of leaves? Because definitely we are not weavers. We can't make our own clothes. For sure, we are not tailors. So of course we need people, and we are having this love and belongingness need, and therefore it is coming from my thought that I need to belong. It supports me in my thought, it supports me morally, it supports me at my intuitive level. So therefore it is in the color yellow, which is knowledge and the knowing. Then comes self-esteem needs. Self-esteem means I already have a house, but I want a bigger house. I already have a two-wheeler, but I want a four-wheeler. I am celebrating at a Udupi restaurant, but now I want to go to a 5-star and celebrate. So when we talk of self-esteem, we are talking of deservability. What I think I deserve. Self-esteem means, if you remember, there was a Maruti car, Esteem. And that esteem ad was very beautiful because it said, the kid goes and tells the other child, I'm more esteemed than you. And that is because she has a Maruti Esteem car and her father has a Maruti 800 car. So even a child understands that a bigger car, a bigger house adds value to who you are. Now, to answer your question, Siddhant, it is a want because my survival is not at stake. I will still survive if I don't have a big car, I don't have a big house, I don't have big parties, I will still survive. But these are to boost my ego. These are for me to decide how big or how superior am I to the others. Is it wrong? Of course not. It's a motivating factor. If my self-esteem is good, if my self-esteem is great, then I am very happy because I classify myself above others. I can say I am better than this one. I'm not as better as this one. I don't want to be here. I want to be there. So self-esteem adds to our deservability, and it acts as a motivating factor to get higher up and to test our limits. Then comes our cognitive needs. What do cognitive needs do? Once I have a big car, I have a big house, I have celebrations, I have everything that covers the area of my worth from materialistic aspects. Now I'm hanging around in a group who has all these materialistic aspects in place. Now how do I make myself more big than them? And then I start to accumulate knowledge. I show off my knowledge. I read books and I keep telling people, oh, I read this book. Oh, this is so amazing. That book has that concept. And I saw this TED talk and I saw that YouTube video and I saw this reel. And then don't we have people in our social groups who are sharing this knowledge and trying to show I know so much more than you do? Yes or no? Maybe so. Yes?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, all the time.
So that is where our cognitive needs come into play. They are an extension of our self-esteem. They are an extension. Self-esteem needs come from materialistic needs. Cognitive needs are an extension of the self-esteem needs, but they are coming from knowing. They are coming from showing off the knowledge that we have. Then comes my aesthetic needs. After the cognitive needs, now we all know this is right, that is right. Then we want to go to spas because that makes me feel good. Then I want to have scented candles. Then I don't want roses and I want orchids, or I want liliums. And I want, like 5 sticks of liliums and 11 sticks of liliums. And I want the pink liliums and I want this and I want that. And then I'm looking at beautification of me and my environment. And many a times I also bring plants into my house. I bring flowers into my house. I bring scents into my house because now I want things to excite my sensory organs. I want good tastes. I want good sounds. Oh my God, that music is so calming. Have you heard people with lower level needs listen to Zen music? Or do you think when you come here to your aesthetic needs, you listen to Zen music? Would you hear Zen music in Ganpati Mandals?
No.
Would you hear Zen music in Garba dances?
No.
No.
So understand that Zen music and those kind of musics play a very important role when it comes to aesthetics. They are aesthetic because now I want my sensory organs to feel good. I want suddenly we become vegan, suddenly we become vegetarians. It is a aesthetic need because I want to purify my internal system also. It comes from those needs. And once those needs are fulfilled, then we move higher up to self-actualization. Now, what is self-actualization? Self-actualization is to desire to become spiritual. Then we start looking at spiritual knowledge. We want to follow some kind of a spiritual guru or read some books, attend some talks. Right now, you're doing that only, becoming self-aware and wanting to know more of it. Don't worry, I am also sailing in the same boat. I am also sailing with you. So it's not like we are anywhere superior or inferior out here. It's just that I'm sharing knowledge of what I know out here. So desire to become spiritual. Unfortunately, we do not realize that we are spiritual beings for a human experience and not human beings for a spiritual experience. We were spirits before we were born. We are going to be spirits after we die. And the spirit or the soul, if you want to consider, has chosen to be human. Let's do 100% justice to being human with the knowledge of the spirit and the wisdom of the body. And it's also the journey of knowing, finding out who am I? What am I going? What is the purpose? People start questioning the purpose of life. Then people go into past life regression. They want answers for their suffering. They want to know, okay, I want to do this workshop because I want to do energy healing. I want to do theta healing. I want to do pranic healing. I'm going to do crystal healing. And this is the desire where we are trying to find answers to our so-called problems that we are suffering. It does not, okay, I'm going to come to that in a little while. And then the transcendence need, where rarely any human being has reached. There is like, you can't even say 1%. It is a 0.00001% people who reach here to the transcendence need because they become accepting of everything that is. They don't feel the need to advise. They don't feel the need to tell people what to do. They don't feel the need to tell people that, okay, there is no Gyan session. There is no advice. There is no solution. They are those people who are in the Himalayas or who are just have closed their eyes and are into meditation. And you will find a lot of people who are just sitting at their feet waiting for them to open their eyes and say something. And these people just say randomly something and they just walk out without wondering or worrying about whether you have picked up any information or not. They don't care if you have taken wisdom from what they have said or not. They don't worry about your life. They don't have this need to better your life. Of course, helping others and making sure that others also have a good life. We start donating, we get into social work. This is all coming from my need of self actualization, is to say that okay, my life is sorted to a certain extent, let me help others also come and sort themselves out. So when we have people who are advising or people who are in the helping profession who are wanting to help, are in this area. Prasad, you'll have to figure out, because is everybody able to hear me? Thumbs up, down?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so Prasad, something from your end. Please check your connections there.
Prasad
Now-
can log out and come back.
Yes, you could log out and come back. Now, if you look at these colors, they are the rainbow colors. They are also colors of your energy. If you go to look at it, what does the color red remind you of? Anger, passion, survival, blood,
Danger.
fight, danger. Thank you. So these are the colors of physiological needs. You will not go beyond. If these needs are threatened, no matter where on this triangle you are, you will come down and fend for your physiological needs. Then if you realize the triangle starts to narrow from here on. So when my physiological needs are not fulfilled, my freedom is more. I am more free. I can steal. There is no rule that says that I cannot steal. Prasad, you need to maybe increase the volume on your own laptop or your phone, because I don't think my volume on this thing is low. Everybody can hear me very clearly, right? Yeah, thank you. So when we talk of safety needs, you look at the safety needs and you realize that, okay, now I have compromised a little on my freedom. Because when I sit behind the door of my house, who is the one who is locked up? I am locked out behind the house. The freedom is outside the door. When I look at my safety and I'm looking at shelter, medical needs, when I'm looking at medical needs, I have to take medication and there are restrictions. Who is restricted? Me. If I am restricted, then definitely these are needs that need to take care. Prasad, you need to mute yourself. Tushar, please, can you mute everybody except me? Then you look at love and belonging. Now look at the love and belonging. The triangle has still narrowed down, because when you have to belong to someone, you have to lose certain aspects of yourself. People tell you who you can be and who you cannot be. You are acceptable in certain conditions and not acceptable in certain conditions. So therefore, the freedom that you perceive when you love and belong is even lesser. If I have to belong to my family, then I have to be a certain person. If I have to belong to my community, my society, I have to be a certain person. If I have to belong to a religion, I have to do certain things and not do certain things. Because if people start to pass judgment, they will disown me and I will be outcasted from that community or that group. And therefore, my freedom is even more compromised as I move to love and belonging. Then when you look at self-esteem, my big car, my big house, my big celebrations, can I go to Khao Gully with a Mercedes and eat Pani Puri at the Khao Gully? Do you think any of these A-lister stars can go and eat Baraf Ka Gola on Juhu Beach freely without being haunted?
No.
Do you think if somebody is used to going to 5 stars will be able to eat Raste Ka Vada Pav? So understand that as my self-esteem needs are being fulfilled, they are wants, they are not needs, to answer your question, because they are not necessarily there for my survival. They are there for my perceived survival. That if I don't have these needs fulfilled, I may not survive. So tomorrow, if suddenly, say, Shah Rukh Khan loses everything he has and there is no food left for him to eat, what happens? Do you think it would be so difficult for him to go and ask people that please give me some food? Have you seen A-listers or people who are very high celebrities, big celebrities, who have suddenly come down and they no longer are on the position in which they were? And it is so difficult for them to survive. Because asking for a mundane job, a simple job is not going to be easy for them. They cannot drop the ego that, oh, I was a big star once upon a time. So imagine how difficult it is. The higher you climb up the ladder, the more difficult it is for you to come and ask for help in the lower rung of the ladder. You can go higher up and ask for help, but definitely not come lower the rung and ask for help. Right? So now when we come to cognitive needs, the same thing, that if I am in this cognitive needs, let's look at people like me, or maybe even Preeti, even Lolita for that matter. I'm speaking for these people because these are people who come from psychology backgrounds and who are already into the profession of healing. Maybe Amol also to a certain extent, because he's also a life skill trainer. Now, when you look at these people, do you think they will go to get advice maybe from people who they perceive are lower than them in knowledge? And it's a perception. The most wisdom comes from people who are not knowledgeable. Life has taught them lessons. And yet we choose to ask people who are more knowledgeable than us rather than less knowledgeable than us. And we only go from me to higher without even acknowledging that knowledge and wisdom are different. The difference between knowledge and wisdom is knowledge is the knowing, which even the spirit knows. Wisdom comes from experience. Experience is stored in the body. I may not know the theories and principles, but I definitely know what to do. If you ask your grandparents, your parents, they have solutions for so many of our problems, but then they don't know the theories and therefore we reject it and we refuse it. So many of things which were a part of our culture, a part of our lifestyles, was given to us because it was wisdom. And as we became more knowledgeable, we rejected those customs and rituals because they did not fit in the knowledge that I had collected from books and from areas that didn't fit. Because the people who transferred the knowledge transferred the cultural rituals did not give me the knowledge of why I should follow these rituals. So that is where we come from. Is yes, we Amol says wisdom is what is not to do, or to leave behind what, leave behind what is not,
When
I'm
to
sorry.
react and when to respond.
When to react and when to respond. Correct. Wisdom is to know when to react and when to respond. Lovely. Then again, self-actualization. And if you realize transcendence need is the smallest. And what started as the Maslow's hierarchical triangle here, it is incomplete until the level of self-actualization. It's not a triangle. It's only when you go to your transcendence need does the triangle complete. It's a whole triangle there by itself. The transcendence need, if you are able to reach here, then you are whole and complete, and all your needs and wants are fulfilled in this transcendence need. And everything below that is only a trapezium if you go to see that. Does this make sense? Tushar, how much more time do we have? I can't see the clock here, so I'm asking you.
It's 10:38, so I think 20 minutes more.
Okay, great. Thank you. Any questions related to this as yet? My last statement again, Jaideep, is that if you look at the transcendence, it is a triangle like the Maslow's hierarchy. It is complete by itself. The triangle is complete. What starts as a Maslow's hierarchy from the physiological needs, they are all trapeziums till you reach the top. And only when you reach the top, you are so complete with all your needs and wants that you don't need anything more than what you have already. That is the transcendence need. Does that answer your question, Jaideep?
Yeah. Pallavi, I have one question. Can I ask you?
Yes, yes. Now question time for
Yeah.
up to whatever we have discussed. Then
Okay,
I'm going to do something different. I hope everybody has a notepad and a pen.
Yes.
Good.
So,
I
Pallavi,
do have a question, Pallavi, though I know the answer, but this question is that somebody who's at
Tushar,
end of life-
just 1 minute. Tushar, can we close this and have the grid view or the gallery view, please? Yes, please go on with the question.
Yeah, so if somebody's at their end of life, okay. So at their end of life, do they necessarily have reached a particular stage in this Maslow's? No, isn't it?
Not at all.
Yeah.
I could die at my self-esteem need.
Absolutely,
And I
yes.
could die at my physiological need. I could die at my, if you are fortunate enough to reach the transcendence need, then probably this is to answer your question. Yogini, are you there? I'm sorry, this was a question Yogini had asked about Mukti.
Yes, I am there.
Yes, thank you, Yogini. So this is to answer your question that if you are able to reach that transcendence need, then you have moksha. Then there is no punarjanam. People who believe in punarjanam, if you die in any of the lower ranking needs, then God bless you, you're coming back to fulfill the rest of the hierarchy. And
Yes.
if you died with the self-esteem need, then yes, you will be born in that rung. On that, you will be born there in your next lifetime. Just 1 minute, Sushma. I'll take questions. Please raise your hand. I'll take questions one by one so that I know I'm not missing out on anybody. Just raise your hands. Jaideep, you'll go next after Preeti. Okay, so what happens is you might be born with a self-esteem backdrop and you're not worried about your survival and safety needs. And your actions, your behaviors, your thoughts will decide whether you will go higher up the rung or you will come lower down the rung. So have you seen people who started successfully and had great things in their lives and started to come down slowly? Or they were at a very basic level and started to go higher up the ladder?
Yes.
So wherever you die, that will be the starting point of your next lifetime. But that does not guarantee your second future life is going to be better. It could be worse. So that is where we talk of moksha. Yesterday, Yogini and I were having a long chat for quite some time. And she asked me this question. So Yogini, we have to reach the transcendence stage to reach moksha.
Yes.
And it might take lifetimes to do that.
Yes.
Thank you. Yes, Jaideep, you had... Preeti, I hope I answered your question.
Yes, thank you, Pallavi.
Thank you. Yes, Jaideep,
thanks,
please ask.
Pallavi. Now, why that Marlowe chart, the top two steps were not defined as it have early steps, that is the needs and wants. So that come under what category?
So needs are coming from my survival needs. Wants are coming from an extension of my survival needs. Now, having a self-actualization is not my survival need. It's a want at an internal soul-searching level. You are looking at your own soul-searching. Okay, I have everything I need for my life, but there are questions that are not answered. So they are coming from the need of wisdom. They are coming from a need of wanting something that is not fulfilling my physiology. It's not fulfilling my human need. It is fulfilling my mental need, my need of the mind to know more. Self-actualization does not come from survival or fear of survival. If I'm not self-actualized and I have a big house, I have a big car, my cognitive needs, everything is being fulfilled, I can die there. And there won't be regret. There are so many rich people who don't go in the search of self. They don't look for meanings from life. It is only the unhappy people who are looking for meanings of life. Or people who are questioning their existence. Somebody comes and shakes your existence and then you're wondering, Are, ye to kya main sukhi tha? Jaideep's question, no? It is a perpetual Jaideep's questions right now, Jaideep. So, yes. So I hope I answered that question of yours.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyone else with questions related? Can you...
Yeah.
Amol has his hand up. Okay. Mihika, I'm going to answer your question next. I'm assuming... Who's Aditi Dhamankar? Mihika only, no? Who's Aditi? Aditi, yes, Aditi. Yes, I see you. I see you. I see you. I see you. Okay, great. Aditi, just give me a minute. Let me answer Amol's question because I can't see hands up. Tushar, will you please tell me who's next now? I can, since you're saying Amol, I trust your judgment.
Yeah,
Yes.
Amol and then Rishti.
Okay, Amol, Drishti, and then Aditi probably. Okay, Amol, ask.
So my question, is, so we come across a lot of people, who are low on self-esteem. So what I understood self-esteem was they are maybe low on confidence. They are more of, they don't kind of value themselves. But what you have mentioned is deservability. So I think now I can connect it to a certain extent. Like, let's say if I'm working in an office space, so if I get a promotion, rather, do I want a promotion? Because do I deserve to be there? What skills do I have? It? Will I be able to do it or not? Correct?
Correct.
So this is how, typically people probably, they don't want to pursue promotion, or they are probably not in a space where they can, do justice for that particular role. So my question is, how do we, achieve or improve when we are, as a counselors, when we see other people, they are not doing justice to whatever. I think that is the don't know kind of stage. But when we see that, how do we make sure that they are on that journey?
Okay. Very first
from
thing,
a guidance perspective.
Correct. So now very first thing is understand confidence is an outcome, not a goal. It is not the problem. I don't have confidence is an outcome of what is it that I don't have. I don't have deservability. I don't have assurance that I'm good enough. If I believe I'm good enough, then I'm not fearing any kind of roles and responsibilities. But when there is fear that I'm not good enough, then I'm low on my confidence because I'm not sure I will be doing justice to the role I receive. So confidence is always an outcome of what? Of my belief of what I can achieve and what I deserve to achieve. So as in guidance perspective, if you help with a person's thought and emotion related to who he is or what he thinks is his shortcoming or her shortcoming to achieve what he can be or where he can be, then confidence will be a natural outcome. People have fear of public speaking and they say, I'm not confident in talking in front of people. Well, it's not that they are not confident in talking in front of people. The only thought is that people will judge me if I might look stupid, and people might laugh at me if I am sharing something that is not true or valid. So they don't trust the knowledge they are transferring.
Or they are probably stuck in maybe a past experience which they don't want to kind of overcome.
Correct. But as children, we never were afraid of making mistakes. We were okay to make mistakes. We fell 10 times and we got up and we started to cycle all over again. We never were afraid of that. We started to fear the laughter and the shame and the guilt that we felt after falling down multiple times. And then we chose to not pursue it at all because we were afraid of the guilt and the shame, not of the pain of falling down. Yeah? Okay. Thank you, Amol. Drishti?
I have a question. So if you're on top, like if you're self-actualization or you're like you are like giving up your giving your knowledge to other people, but like as a person you can still have self-esteem issue, you can still have love and belonging issue. Like it doesn't matter where you are, you can still have all the other issues or all the other problems in your life.
Yes.
So it doesn't matter, like you don't have to like climb it. It's just,
I love your question, Rishti. It's a very beautiful question. Now, please understand that we are surviving or we are living in different areas of life. It's my physical body. I have a social being. I am a social being. So one is my relationship with myself. One is my relationship with my society. One is my relationship with my God. One is my relationship with my profession. There are so many relationships that we explore. And my relationship with my knowledge is so high on my self-esteem that I can deliver this talk to even 500 people, 700 people, 10,000 people. And I'm not afraid of this knowledge sharing. But tomorrow, if I have to come down and maybe talk in Marathi, in my mother tongue, then I might have a challenge there because the words that I need to express myself may not be really there, and therefore I might be low on my confidence and my self-esteem will be low in that area. The same public speaking, when it comes even from a language difference, or if I already come from a thought that I'm not going to deliver a good knowledge, because people who are sitting in the audience are already more knowledgeable than I am. The people who are very good at public speaking falter a lot when they see that the people sitting in the audience are more knowledgeable than them. As teachers, Preeti will agree that we are very confident when we speak to our students, but when it comes to a teacher's conclave or a teacher's conference or a seminar, many of us shy away from speaking because we are afraid of being judged by them. And that is coming because we are afraid to let people know that probably I don't know as much as you do. We begin to judge ourselves. So I might be good, my self-esteem might be good in, say, my profession, but my self-esteem may not be very good in my personal relationship, or my self-esteem may not be very good as far as my materialistic needs are concerned. So when we look at a triangle, it's not like this need is completely fulfilled and I move ahead. This triangle is applicable to different areas of my life when I'm living it independently. And when these different areas of life represent each one of us differently. So the way Amol sees me will be very different from the way Lolita sees me, will be very different from the way Sanika sees me, or Jaideep sees me, or even you see me, Drishti, because you all see Pallavi in a different light. You and I share different relationships. And if Pratik has to see me, oh my God, he's my son, by the way, people. And I'm very honored that my son has given me the honor of being a participant in my workshop. It is a very huge thing for me. My self-esteem is chappar phadke today, because he judges me to no extents. So if he's here in this workshop and he's listening to me without advising me, I am feeling very honored by this.
Yes, I'm really holding back the urge.
Okay, stop. All right. So the idea here is, now, I don't, here in this relationship, if you become aware that my relationship with my son is that of knowledge. Although I am his mother, I have given him a place of superiority in my life where I'm saying you are more knowledgeable than I am. And therefore, you have the power to tell me where I'm making a mistake. Does that make sense to some of you, all of you? Right? It is also how much power do I give the other person to define and decide my self-esteem and self-worth. It is not, the other person does not have the ability to decide your self-worth. It is how much power you have given that other person. So people who think that they are not worthy, please check. If you think somebody else is more worthy than you, have you given them the power of being more worthy than you? And why have you defined your power based on who that person is, not based on who you are? Do we agree we all are unique and individual, very different individuals? We are very unique. Then why should I have a benchmark about somebody else as my role model? Should I not be my own role model? Am I not a person? Am I not this person who is unique? Who knows you the best? Yes, yourselves. Nobody knows you as much as you know yourselves. Why do you let others make a judgment of you? And let them do it. They digest their food by making judgments about you. But don't give them that power to destroy your self-worth or your self-esteem. And your uniqueness, it is like four blind men trying to describe the elephant. Each one's perspective might be true, but is that the only aspect of you? You have so many other aspects that this person doesn't see. And are we not judging the other person based on who we are because we believe we are the best? And the race upward doesn't mean that there is no plateau up there and there can't be more than one person up there. Because each one's journey is upward and each one has his own peak on which he or she can be. Unlike our belief that there is only one place on the top. Well, yes, there is only one place on the top, but that place is mine. It's my private triangle. It's my private peak. Only I can be there. Nobody else can be on my peak. Because it is my individual being. It is my individual existence that defines this for me. My traits, a combination of my qualities will define this. Does that answer your question, Drishti?
Yeah, it does.
Thank you. Yes, Aditi, you had a question. You need to unmute yourself. Yes. No, we can't hear you. Can you come closer to the laptop or something like that? We can't hear you. No.
Not audible, Aditi.
Not audible. Aditi, can you type out the question?
Pallavi,
Because
in
I
the
think...
Pallavi, in the
Sorry?
meanwhile, she's typing. In the meanwhile, Aditi is typing it. I just have a question.
Just 1 minute. I think she has...
Sure.
1 minute. 1 minute.
Yeah.
She has
She is
typed
saying,
out.
can you explain
Yes.
the difference between self-esteem and cognitive needs? Why are they separated and are not in one column?
Same. Okay. So this is not I, Aditi, this is Maslow. Only thing is I'm going to explain Maslow to you the way I understand it. So when we look at self-esteem is defining who I am and what I deserve. Cognitive need comes more from competing. It is competing and saying, okay, my self-esteem needs come from, I want to feel big. But my cognitive need comes from, oh, you are more knowledgeable than I am and I need to be there. So it's coming from competition and that is why they are separated. Does that make sense? Thank you. Yes, Amol, now you can ask.
So when you said that, yes, of course, we are the best judge about our own skills, etc. However, then why do most of the people seek feedbacks?
I love it. Because I seek validation for who I am. I don't trust myself. Do you go asking people, hey, am I breathing? Please check, am I breathing? Do we ask, has anybody asked this question? If you have asked this question, then you are definitely my client. If you haven't asked this question, that means you are very sure that you don't need feedback for this.
No, but it doesn't only mean that, see, even though we are the best judge about ourselves, but there are, again, as you explained in the first thing, that there are things which I don't know, right? Or which I, of course, want to improve. But how to improve, where to improve, of course, that's where...
Yes. So we are seeking suggestions from people because they have experienced life more than I am in particular area.
Correct.
And therefore, I'm seeking their feedback.
Right.
When I'm seeking their feedback, I'm taking in information, but it is still I who has to decide whether I want to accept that feedback or not accept that feedback, or what am I going to do about that feedback. I'm also judging the intention of the person who is giving me the feedback. We don't accept feedbacks from every Tom, Dick and Harry. We only accept feedbacks from people who we perceive are superior than us in certain way.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that is why we are seeking feedback, because we want to better the quality of life that we are leading.
Exactly.
Yeah. Does that answer your question? Yes. Shushim has asked a question, how to tackle the fear of self-esteem turning into ego. Now understand, ego has a very negative connotation in our lives. We believe that ego is bad. Ego is not good. Please understand, ego has helped us survive. Ego has helped us to survive because when I was born, I was whole and complete. And then conditioning started to happen and people started to tell me, you can't be this, you can be this, you can't be this. And I started to lose parts of me. Now that starts to create a lot of existential anxiety within us. And the ego, which is cognition, which is our thinking ability, and the value system that we picked up from our environment, which helps us to understand that certain things are okay in certain conditions, but not in certain conditions. The ego helped me to understand that I can be sarcastic to a certain set of people, and I can be nasty to a certain set of people, and I have to be honest and I have to be straightforward to a certain set of people. That is what ego taught me to do. So ego is a good thing. What we understand as ego is coming more from arrogance. We are mislabeling the concept of ego with arrogance. वो egoistic हो गया है. Well, what we are trying to say is that the person has become arrogant and is not open to listening and is not open to feedback. That is what we usually mean when we say ego. Now, when we talk of self-esteem, am I trying to show off my materialistic things by telling people that, look, I have a bigger car. तुम्हारी तो इतनी ही गाड़ी है, मेरी तो कितनी बड़ी गाड़ी है. Oh my God, how do you eat on this street foods? No, we only eat here. When I start this kind of conversation, I am putting someone down. That is not coming from self-esteem, that is coming from low self-esteem. When I have to put someone down to feel good about myself, I am coming from low self-esteem. If I am putting someone ahead of me, that is because I feel they are bigger than me in their worth and value. And honestly, it is only because I am comparing my life to theirs. Do we know how much of garbage they are carrying in their bag? We look at a success story. Do you know what went behind that success? We often discount that about people. We don't give it a thought. Do you agree? Great. Any
I
more
think
questions?
we only see the tip of the iceberg.
Yes, we only see the tip of the iceberg. Jaideep or Mukta have a question, but before that, have we taken all the questions in the chat? Is there any question that I have not
Yes.
answered? Okay, great.
Yes.
So,
And it is 11 o'clock
yes,
and
so
1 minute.
this is the last question. So the meditation that I was supposed to do will happen next time. And believe me, it's going to be an eye-opener. The next Sunday, we are going to do a meditation, and there is a lot of self-inquiry that's going to happen in the next question. A lot of homework. I'm going to give you homework. The teacher in me doesn't die, so I love to give homework and I make everyone accountable. So I'm not going to let it go. Jaideep, your question, please.
Yeah, sorry, Pallavi, I got a lot of questions, but I'm sorry. Now you said this to extend the question of dristy. Now, when I'm in a self-actualization stage, I may still have, affinity to
lower level needs, yes.
lower body. But when I go to transition stage, everything becomes null and void.
Everything becomes null and void, because otherwise you would never be in the transcendence stage at all. You would only be in the self-actualization stage. Once you are in the transcendence need, if you get, it is like what Siddharth told you. This is in context to what Jaideep knows. If you have it, you enjoy it. If you don't have it, you never miss it. So you are living in the now moment every single minute. If you have a big house, great. If you have a 5-star luxury suite, great. If you are living on the street and under a tree, that's also great. Okay. That is transcendence need. So every moment you are living in the here and the now. You don't have any possessions left. This is mine, this is yours. No, the whole world is yours.
I have a question, quick question.
Okay, ask.
If we are humans, if we are spiritual beings.
No, what do you mean by if we are humans? You doubt that? Drishti?
We are spiritual beings having human experience.
Yes.
Then why do we need to drop everything and just transcend and become spiritual again?
Who said you have to do that? It is the human need only, at the end of it.
How?
Because it's when I have everything, and when I realize that I'm just struggling and not living. In transcendence, you begin to live each moment to the fullest. Like it is the first and the last time you're going to have this moment, which is true. Every moment you have is the first and the last time you're going to have it. So I might as
You
well
don't have to
do
be in the Himalayas to transcend. You can live a human
Yes,
life.
yes, definitely. Definitely. And the world is going to hate you for that because nothing affects you. Your family is going to disown you the first thing because you don't agree to them. You're not doing things as they want you to do. The family is going to throw you out first. Then comes the society because you're not listening to societal norms. Then comes the cops. Then everything is going to fall and collapse on you. And you have to be okay with all of that. You land up in jail? Okay. You land up in the jungle? Okay. You see a tiger coming towards you and saying, I'm going to make a meal out of you. You say, okay. That is transcendence, girl.
Can we
Wait,
become transcendent in
question
certain
on that.
aspects of our life?
1 minute, Pratik.
Can we become transcendent in certain aspect of our life?
Transcendence is whole and complete. So either you are there, or if you're not there, you are in the self-actualization stage. Transcendence is whole and complete. If you see a triangle is complete by itself there. It cannot be partially here and partially there. Partially here, partially there is trapezium. If it is a complete triangle, then only you are transcended, whatever that past tense means or complete tense means.
Got it.
Okay. Pratik, your question, how burning is it? Or can it wait until next week? He's disappeared. He's paused. So I think his question wasn't important. Okay, I guess he's just paused and he's gone and he's disappeared. Thank you, everyone. It was
Some
lovely
network
meeting you.
problem over there.
Yes, good. Good for me.
Wait, your audio.
We can't hear you. You're cracking.
For a second.
Okay,
Wait,
never
wait,
mind.
paused. No, wait. I think I broke out for a moment.
Quick. He's broke out now again. Okay, guys, thank you so much for having or listening to me.
Thank you, Pallavi. It was a beautiful session.
Thank you so much. I would like to hear homework. No. Before I say thank you, homework, people. The homework is reflect on the 4 quadrants and the Maslow's triangle and ask yourselves, where am I right now? In which area of my life do I feel that I'm not moving ahead? And how are we going to tackle that? We are going to go through different modalities and understand how and where do I need to look
Pallavi, please repeat the question.
Reflections on the 4 quadrants of your life, of where you exist. And the second aspect is understanding the Maslow's triangle and asking yourselves, where am I in which area of my life? In finances, in relationships, in my profession, personal, where do I stand? And I would like to hear from you on the group. The group is open for questions. The group is open for any information that you have. And please don't forget to bring your notebook and your drawing pads and your colors the next time you're going to use them for sure. Okay, so thank you so much for listening to me. I hope you enjoyed the talk, and we are going to see you again every Sunday for a different topic.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.